Due to my illnesses, I'm unable to hold full-time employment, so I had to get on disability because my illness had gotten to a point where I wasn't taking care of it, and I ended up homeless living in the Salvation Army. And then I got into a place called Phoenix Oak Residential Society, which is basically a rehabilitation program for people living with mental illness, and they got me back on my feet. In society, there's still a lot of stigma concerning any disability, but especially mental illness, because people have misinformation or are not aware of what goes into having a mental illness. And I speak out publicly to high schools and different stuff to let people know that it's nothing to be worried or afraid of, but it's still a legitimate disability that SAID helps a great deal.
So the Premier has been very open and very public about his statement that he wants Saskatchewan to be the best place in Canada for people with disabilities to live in. And part of that in the planning for SAID and in the disability strategy from yesterday talks about a socially acceptable level of income, a level of income that would allow people to pay for the basics of life, not a lot of luxuries in there, but to allow them to live with some comfort, and the dignity comes with that. Knowing that I can pay my bills, knowing that I might have money to go to meet a friend for a little cup of coffee, knowing that I might have $5 to participate in a community event in my neighborhood. Those are things that bring dignity to people's lives.
In the middle of a tight fiscal year, are we going to say yes automatically, $250 more? No. But we will continue our commitment to individuals with disabilities, and we will continue as a government to hold that as a priority. We've made significant increases each and every year over the last 4 years, and we have to keep in mind 6 years ago there was no SAID program. It's because of this government and this government's commitment to individuals with disabilities that we have a program.
Like, life's hard enough without, then you add the disability on top of that, and it kind of gets to be a lot to deal with. And SAID helps people with the disabilities live a more functional and happy lifestyle. And unfortunately, there's still a little bit ways to go on that so that we can have the same equality as people without a disability.